Hey guys, it's Greenwood here from Kick It to Scoops. I am the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours and results. You want to be part of the show, Kick It to Scoops? Send through your questions through the Facebook link, which I'll attach every show on the post. And if you want to email me at aflinfolive@gmail.com, send through your questions and you may feature on the show and be answered your question from yours truly, Cooper Gretsch, for free. Yes, for free. If you want to be on the show, as I said, send it through and I'll get back to you. Go Saints! Too easy this is. Kick It to Scoops. Everyone, and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Cooper Gretsch, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours and results. I've got a very, very loaded show for you guys today. When I mean loaded show, I mean it's a loaded show. And a huge special guest announcement at the end of the show. This guest is a current AFL player. And I'll give you another hint right now. Leave your thoughts down below who you think it is. But it's fair to say this player used to swoop and now he bounces around for a certain team. Now, if you don't know that hint, or if you think you know that hint, leave your thoughts down below for who you think the player, current AFL player that is on my show next week in full. Breaking news, guys. You will not believe this at all. So Hugh Greenwood was delisted from the Gold Coast Suns for strategy reasons, which is not uncommon between AFL clubs, with the promise to redraft him as a rookie. Now, he had 2 years left on the contract. He was just going to be moved to the rookie list because all the other players on their senior list were contracted. And they needed to take at least 3 selections in the draft. Now, one of them will be a new player. And then we're going to promote 2 players from the rookie list as part of the 3 picks. So Hugh Greenwood, along with Rory Thompson and Jez McLennan, were going to be moved to the rookie list and picked up as rookies. But North Melbourne, the Roos, have swooped in, pardon the pun, swooped in and grabbed Hugh Greenwood on a 2-year deal, which is what he had left at the Gold Coast. This is amazing scenes, guys. Leave your thoughts down below with this move. Roos fans, I'd be wrapped with this move. Gold Coast fans, I'd be shattered with how the outcome is. Now, Hugh Greenwood came on social media days ago and I defended him also, saying it was a strategy reason, which was all very well and true. But now, North swooped in and grabbed him on a 2-year deal as a delisted free agent, which will put him on the senior list at the Roos. This is a steal for the Roos. This is a great move. A heist of the century type move. And my God, this is a move that you rarely see. And Hugh Greenwood is now a Roo on a 2-year deal. Gold Coast will be filthy with what's happened here. Obviously, Hugh had a change of heart, and because North couldn't just take him. It's not a draft. So Dulles France, he had to agree to it. So clearly he agreed to it, but this is still a stunning move. I'm sure the Gold Coast have been blindsided here, and they'll be very disgusted, and love to hear the thoughts of the Gold Coast Suns and Stewie Dew and co. Unbelievable scenes there. Now, also, we've got a few things I want to mention before I go through with what we're talking about today also. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Leave a like on this video. We want to aim for at least 30 likes for this video. I want to see a thumbs up. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And tell your friends. Now, also what we're going to go through today, the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. 2022 best 22s for Richmond, Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs. Some draft talk. And then I'll mention the player announcement and my final thoughts. But first, you want me on Cameo head to cameo.com/CooperG. Merch. There is hats, there is stickers, there is 2 mugs as of this recording. Yeah, stickers, stubby holders, hats, and 2 mugs. So if you want any of those items, please go and get yours today. The merch link is attached in the description of this YouTube video. Now let's start off with the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Boom. Liam Jones. You thought I wasn't going to mention this. I will. If people say it's their choice that they don't want it, there could be health reasons, medical reasons why they don't want it. Well, this ain't the case with Liam Jones, because he's pretty much self-admitted that it's his choice, that he refuses to get it. So, Liam, you don't want it? I personally think that's the wrong choice. It's a dumb choice, but that's the dumb choice you've made. That's your choice, right? Whatever. But it's a dumb choice. So don't expect to be paid a zero. You will not be paid a cent of that money. You should not be. You don't want to get vaccinated and do a little thing that could save a lot of people. Now, your captain or co-captain, Sam Doherty's been through his own health scares. Seeing what he's been through, and to potentially compromise him over yourself, if you don't want to get vaccinated for whatever reason, pathetic, Liam. Bulldogs, you started your career at the Western Bulldogs. Terrible there. Got traded to Carlton. Terrible at Carlton as a forward. Rejuvenated your career as a backman. Did solid. And then this is how you repay Carlton, the club that gave you the chance. They just brought in Lewis Young in the trade period. I suppose it's a good thing in the end, because they would have had pretty much Marchbank and Wiedering only in key position areas. They got Lewis Young, but still, now they're going to have a vacant spot on their list. And no matter who they bring in, it is not going to be a best 22 player or a regular best 22 player. Well, you would think. So, Liam, not only have you let your club down, you let you've let down Sam Doherty, you've let down everyone at the Carlton Football Club. Now, to say that not going to explain the details, that's a generic answer. We know why you don't want it, because you're an anti-vaxxer, Liam. It's pathetic. Enjoy retirement. Sticking at home for your life 24/7. So lift your game, Liam. Pathetic. Hope you guys enjoy that short, extensive edition of Scoops Goes Bang. Now we'll move on to my 2022 best 22s for Richmond, Melbourne, and the Western Bulldogs. These are the final 3 sides to do of the 2022 best 22s after the trade period. Now, as I've alluded to in the past, I will be doing some 2022 best 22s after the draft, because some clubs like Richmond and North Melbourne and a few other clubs are having, and Collingwood will have a lot of draftees come in, so it could change the impact of Silent Judos having picked 2 if they keep it. Anyway, we'll go through that when we need to. So we'll start off with Richmond. Speaking of Richmond, we'll go through there. Richmond Football Club. My 2022 best 22 for the Richmond Football Club. In the back line, in the pockets, Dylan Grimes and Nathan Broad. The fullback, the new recruit from the Roos, Robbie Tarrant. Half back line, the flankers, Jaden Short and Nick Vlosten. Centre half back, Noah Bolter. Wingers, Shane Edwards and Shai Bolton. Centreman, Jack Graham. Half forward line, Dustin Martin, Liam Baker. Centre half forward, Jack Rewalt. Forward pockets, Matty Parker and Jake Arts. Full forward, Tom Lynch. Ruckman, Toby Nankervis, and the Ruck Rover and Rover, Dion Prestia, and Kane Lambert. Interchange consists of Jack Ross, Camden McIntosh, Trent Cotchin, and Marlon Pickett. Emergencies, Jason Castagna, Dan Rioli, Sydney Stack, Riley Collier-Dawkins, and Ivan Soldo. Now, leave your thoughts, Tigers fans, and clubs of other fans of other clubs down below of your thoughts on my 2022 best 22 for the Richmond Football Club. Now, I wanted to go through a few positional changes here I put here. I know Noah Ball's injured, but this is not necessarily a round 1 team. It is what I think the team should be. And to be honest, I didn't want to put in Jake Arts either, but they need to have a small forward in there. I wanted to chuck him on the emergency list with Rioli and Castagna and Stack, because none of them deserve to be in the 22. Could be a bit inside mid-top heavy with Ross, Graham, Cotchin, Edwards, and Graham, as I mentioned. So, Yeah, and Prestia. So, it could be a bit top heavy, but this is why in the draft they'll have to address that small forward, speedy type players. Because other than Shy Bolton, there's not much else small, speedy players. So that's some top areas they'll need to target. Trent Cotchin and Marlon Pickett, they're probably two I actually didn't want to put in the team, but the lack of depth options is why they're in there. Now people say Cooper Cotchin was the captain up until the end of this year, who stepped down now as captain. It's time to move on from Trent Cotchin at the moment, to be honest. People would say Matty Parker, or you only put him in because he's a Saint. Well, no, I didn't. Again, lack of depth options. I put in there. He's got to be an aggressive side to him. I mean, is he really the best one? Maybe when all these draftees come in, he'll be one that will be pushed out. But that's not to be the case at the moment because they haven't had the draft yet, which is next Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. So you'll have to keep an eye on that. So yeah, Tiger fans, leave your thoughts down below. Now we'll move on to my 2022 best 22 for the Melbourne Football Club, the premiers for 2021. From the back line, Michael in the pockets, Michael Hibberd and Adam Tomlinson. Fullback, Stephen May. Half-back line, Trent Rivers and Christian Salem. Centre half-back, the intercept player, Jakey Lever. Wingers, James Harms and the speedy Ed Langdon. Centreman, Jack Viney. Half-forward line, Luke Jackson and Angus Brayshaw. Centre half-forward, Tom McDonald. Forward pockets, Keziah Pickett, Cosy Pickett and Bailey Fritsch. And the full forward, Ben Brown. The ruckman, obviously, is Max Gorn, this rover and ruck robot, Christian Petrarca and Clayton Oliver. Interchange consists of Alex Neil-Bullen, Jaden Hunt, Charlie Spargo and James Jordan. Emergencies, Mitch Brown, Jake Bowie, Luke Dunstan from St Kilda, Sam Wiedemann and Majak Dorr. So Demon fans, let me know your thoughts of my 2022, best 22 for the Melbourne Football Club. And then people will say Cooper Bowie played in the grand final. Jaden Hunt didn't. You can say things like that. So you can say Tomlinson didn't. Hibberd was on the fringe. Well, again, just because you played in the grand final when there was some injuries, Tomlinson was injured, slots back in the team. Pretty self-explanatory there. Jaden Hunt, I thought, had he not been injured, he would have been there. So, I mean, it's not that stiff. Bowie would essentially go out for Jaden Hunt. Jordan was a sub. So he's technically in the 23, but we name him a West 22. And I said with Hibberd, he's on the fringe. Yes, he is. But I've gone with Hibberd over Bowie in that position. Now, Demons fans, let me know your thoughts, and the fans of other clubs, of my 2022 best 22 for the Melbourne Football Club. I wanted to also put quickly Alex Neil-Bullen in the 22. I thought about putting him on the wing for James Harms, which evidently they could swap, which I could have done, but I've just gone with what I did. But Alex Neil-Bullen has been an improver for Melbourne over the last few years in particular. Mitch Brown also, I wanted to put in, but you got Jackson, Brown, and McDonald. And Ben Brown, that is, so you can't fit Mitch Brown, who is not related to Ben Brown, for people that think they are. We'll move on now to my 2022 best 22 for the Western Bulldogs, the final 2022 best 22 pre-draft or post-trade period I will be going through for this season. My best 22 for 2022 for the Western Bulldogs. From the back line, the pockets, Jason Johannesson and Bailey Williams. Full back, Alex Keith. Half back line, Caleb Daniel and Hayden Crozier. Centre half back, the new recruit, the free agent, Tim O'Brien. O'Brien. Wingers, Lockie Hunter and Bailey Dale. Centreman and Bailey Smith. Half forward line, Josh Dunkley, Marcus Bontempelli, and the centre half forward, Aaron Norton. Forward pockets, Cody Waitman and Mitch Hannon. Full forward, Joshy Bruce. Yes. Ruckman, Stephen Martin. Ruck Rover and Rover, Adam Treloar and Jackson McRae, the back-to-back Scoops medal winner. Interchange consists of Rourke Smith, Tim English, Toby McLean and Tom Liberatore. Emergencies, Mitch Wallace, Zane Cordy, Ryan Garner, Ed Richards, and soon-to-be draftee into the team, Sam Darcy. Now, Bulldogs fans and fans of other clubs, let me know your thoughts of my 2022 best 22 for the Western Bulldogs. Now, people could say, Cooper Johansson's on the fringe. Well, that's what I put in there. People say, why is Bailey Dale on a wing? I thought he could expand his speed and kicking on the wing and have Croatia play at half back. People could say, Cooper, why you got Dunkley and Bontempelli at the half forward line? Well, there's so many mids to go to play forward. That doesn't mean they won't play midfield, but that's what I've gone with, and it makes the forward line stronger. People could say Cooper, Josh Bruce is going to be missing most of the next year, if not all. Well, again, it's the best 22, not for round 1. So Bruce is their best key forward, and there's no doubting that. Just check the Coleman medal race. People say Stephen Martin is a ruck over English. English is not a ruckman. English is not a ruckman. Get that in your heads. He is not a ruckman. Beveridge self-admitted it late in the season. He is not a number 1 ruck choice. He's a backup ruck choice, and he's a pinch hitter ruck. He's 80% forward, 20% ruck. Something like that. Maybe playing a bit more with Stephen Martin being injured at the moment, but that's their problem. People say Zane Cordy, Ryan Garner, they were in the grand final mix. One was in the team, Cordy, and Garner was just on the cusp of being out. Neither should be in the side. Alex Keith and Tim O'Brien are far better than them two, and they don't need those two in the side. Mitch Walls, I did think about putting in, but put Toby McLean essentially ahead because we're too top-heavy inside mids. Rourke Smith, I debated about whether I had him in the team, but there wasn't many other options to go through. I feel people say, where's Ugo Hagen? Where's Sam Darcy? They're on the cusp. They're on the emergency list purely because we don't need them in the side. So leave your thoughts down below, guys. Of my 2022 best 22 for Bulldogs, Melbourne and Richmond. Hope you guys enjoyed my installment of the 2022 best 22s for all 18 AFL clubs. I would do some 2022 best 22s post-draft periods. So you'll keep an eye on that after the draft. Now, we'll move on to some draft talk. Speaking of the draft. Now, my Phantom draft will be released next week on the show. I'm thinking at this stage, I can't lock in a day, but more likely will be a Monday night again. So keep your eyes out for when the podcast is on next week. More than likely next Monday night. Same time as tonight. But I will confirm that during the week on the Facebook page. Now, we'll move on to my draft talk. So my top 23 draft rankings. I made probably a little bit of an adjustment to the bottom half of the top 23. I'm just having a look in front of me now. From pick 16 all the way down to 23, I've made some adjustments. But let's go through the order. You can see the order on the screen, but I'll go through it anyway. So my re-updated top 23 AFL draft rankings for this year's draft crop goes as follows. Number 1, Jason Horne-Francis. Pick 2, number 2, Josh Jaycott. Getting me all these Joshes in this draft is getting me confused. I'm not talking about Josh Dacos. He's already at the Pies. Nick Dacos, his brother, will join the Pies. But this is just rankings. It's not a Phantom draft. So Jason Horne-Francis at 1, Nick Dacos at 2, Finn Callahan at 3, Ben Hobbs at 4, Josh Gibkiss at 5, Jaya Miss at 6, Josh Rochelle at 7, Sam Darcy at 8, Mac Andrew at 9, Josh Ward at 10, Marcus Winghanger at 11, Machito Owens at 12, Matthew Johnson at 13, Sam Butler at 14, Neil Erasmus at 15, Josh Sin at 16, which is pushed up the order, Isaiah Wanganeen Malira at 17, also pushed up the order, Tola Sonsi at 18, dropped down the order, Arlo Draper at 19, dropped down the order, Darcy Wilmot at 20, slightly gone up, Josh Goda at 21, dropped down a handful of spots, Toby Conway at 22, Campbell Chisa at 23, dropped down a spot or two. Now, people say, Coop, how and what positions are these guys? Jason Horne-Francis is mid-forward, Nick Dacos mid-forward, Finn Callahan mid, playing on the wing, Ben Hobbs mid, Josh Gibkiss key defender, intercept defender, Jaya Miss key forward, Josh Rochelle mid-forward, Sam Darcy key forwards, pinch hit ruck, Mac Andrew ruck forward, Josh Ward mid, Marcus Winghanger mid, Machito Owens mid-forward, Matthew Johnson mid, Sam Butler mid or forward mid, Neil Erasmus forward mid, Josh Sin half-back, Isaiah Wanganeen Malira utility, Tola Sonsi utility, Arlo Draper utility, Darcy Wilmot half-back, Josh Goda half-back wing, Toby Conway ruck, Campbell Chisa utility. So that is the positional for those guys. You'll see my fandom draft. It'll be completely different to this order because purely this is off a draft rankings. When I do my fandom draft, it'll essentially be off a need-by-needs basis and best available. So, like for example, with Dacos, he's going to get a bid on and probably pick 2 or 3, but he's not going to the club that will end up having pick 2, whether it's GWS or whatever. They'll more likely place a bid. They'll probably place a bid on Sam Darcy, but they may trade that pick, so that may not even happen. They may make a bid on Darcy and Dacos, knowing those clubs will match the bids. Then trade pick 2. Who knows? Maybe they can play some funny buggers. We'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, my fandom draft in full will be out next week. So keep an eye out for that. Now, it is time for, you guessed it, the player announcement. Now, this huge current AFL player is going to be the first ever current AFL player to be on my podcast. I've had journos, I've had former AFL players, I've had media, I've had Facebook personalities, I've had, people from the media, as I said, had the Collingwood coach, new Collingwood coach, Craig not on not too long ago. Now, I can exclusively reveal, now, but early in the show, you heard me say, Coop, the huge player announcement, who is he? Who is he? And I gave you a hint. He used to swoop, but now he bounces around. Wow. The special guest on the show from next week, the interview in full, that player is none other than the former Pie and current Roo young star, Jaden Stevenson. I spoke to Jaden yesterday. The interview in full will be out next Monday night, more than likely. So I can't wait for you guys to see that. Jaden is a great guy. I really appreciate Jaden for coming on. So yeah, next week on the show, Jaden Stevenson, the former Pie and current Roo young star, will be on the show next week. So that is something to look forward to. My final thoughts are this. You want me on Cameo? Head to cameo.com/Cooper. As I mentioned earlier, there is merch on the website, so get your merch today. And enjoy it. Because there's a lot of the t-shirts and hoodies are gone. They're all gone, in fact. And just got hats, mugs, stickers, and stubby holders on there now. So get yours today and get yourself some Scoops memorabilia because it is some good merch to have. So guys, get ready for that interview with Jaden Stevenson next week in full. It is one you will not want to miss. There will be a trailer coming out throughout the week, more than likely, like a sneak peek type thing. So keep an eye out for that. You were not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a big show. One of the biggest young stars in the competition in Jaden Stevenson. Until next week, everyone, have a great one. And the most important thing to remember is, go the Saints. And of course, you guys will do it, won't you? Oh, that's right. Acknowledge me. Oh, also, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below your thoughts on this episode. And overall your general thoughts, and let me know who else you want on the show. But next week, in full, the young Roo star, Jaden Stevenson. All the best, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Most important thing to remember is, go the Saints. And of course, you're going to do it. Jaden did it. Craig McRae did it. Tommy Morris did it. Sarah Ollie did it. Joanne Wagner did it. And so did the Bev show host Bev. So, acknowledge me.